Ian, next game under the lights, live on BBC Alba on Friday. It's another stern test against Ayr, and an opportunity to extend the run. Is that how you're seeing it?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's an opportunity to gain 3 points at home. We know it's going to be difficult against a team that's done really well this season, built on what Lee had done when he went in at the tail end of last season as well. He's done very, very well. Deserves a lot of praise for where they are. A really difficult game, as I said, but we're on a good run ourselves. We look forward to the game. We know what's at stake. We know it's a game that if we have aspirations of really closing gaps and making things really tight up there, then we have to try and win that.
Yeah, and you rightly gave credit there to what Lee Bullen had done at Ayr, but looking to ourselves, we've recruited Isma and William. They did really well against Queen's Park, both of them. How close are Jamie Gullen and Louis Vaughan to putting pressure on those two guys?
Yeah, getting Isma and William in's been a big bonus for myself and the players to have those options up front as well, and showing good appetite towards the game. William now has been with us 3 to 4 weeks, looks much sharper than he did when he arrived, and again it just comes a little bit of game time and a couple of goals for his confidence. Isma's the same. Isma will get up to speed. He's not quite 100% yet, but he'll get there. With Lewis and Jamie always been out, it's disappointing. Literally the same moment of the game up at Arbroath, it was within a 15-20 second time span, so that was disappointing. Both hamstrings, which are notoriously hard to predict how long they'll be and how long it takes to recover and when they're able to return, because it's kind of going with the player's feeling. With Lewis, it's a bit slower than we'd hoped, because we hoped it was going to be inside 10 to 14 days, which is really, really quick for a hamstring, to be fair, but a wee bit slower than we wanted or hoped, and we'll check him tomorrow to see how he is. Obviously with Jamie it's a wee bit different. He's had that a couple of times now in the same area of his body, and it's frustrating for Jamie, frustrating for us as well on the staff side. So we need to get him checked out a little bit in more detail to see exactly what we need to do with him, because it's just happened too many times. In fact, he's probably done exceptionally well to get through that Motherwell game, and then he felt pain after it. So as I say, we'll have to check it. I'm not medically qualified to put a time span on it at the moment, because I don't know.
And of course the other significant absentees recently, Ross Matthews we know about, but Ethan Ross, I hear there's an update on his situation, his condition.
Yeah, again, very frustrating season for Ethan. He's been in and out because of injuries. I really like him as a player. He's brilliant to have around the place as well, for the other players and myself. Good attitude and appetite again towards football. He had to go in for a procedure last week, which we hope is going to get to the root of the problem that he's had in his sort of pelvic groin area. At the moment, it's still early days since that operation, but he's feeling a lot better. He's feeling better within himself as well. He's looking better actually, but we have to be careful with him. It's an area of the body where it's hard again to get rid of. It's one of those areas that's very difficult to rest, even just do normal day activities. So we're hopeful we'll see Ethan back in the training park in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks maximum, and then get him ready for games towards the end of the season, but we'll be cautious with him.
And as discussed off camera, that's obviously something that you went through as a player yourself, so you'll be acutely aware of how careful Ethan's going to have to be with that situation, that injury. Yeah,
I had very similar myself, albeit a while ago now. I was older as well, so hopefully Ethan's got a quicker recovery time. You always get a recovery time from the surgeon, but they're not always bang on target. I was certainly not on target, and it took me a while to get over it, but Ethan seems to be not quite as bad as I was in terms of the recovery. He seems to be a quicker healer than I was as well, so and age plays a big part in all that process. So as I say, we're very hopeful that Ethan can come back quickly, but I also know from experience that we have to be cautious with it and we have to listen to him.
Yeah, and with the rest of the squad, what sort of planning is in place about contract renewals or extensions for existing guys?
Yeah, it's one of those times of the season, the window's just about closed, for the loans and all that, and we're going into the sort of back end of it, the business end of it, and we've had some really good performers this season. There's a lot of players that have done really well in this team, and will get better as well the more they play with each other also. I'd like to think the majority of the players are really happy, which helps, and we'll look to sit down soon and speak to them in detail. We've had a couple of informal chats with a few players, but there is other ones that we want to keep as well. But I think once we get this busy schedule and hectic schedule out the way, we can properly sit down, because at the moment our goal, and full credit to all the players, is the next game. We don't get wrapped up in what might happen down the line, and we certainly don't look back the way and look what we've achieved this season and look what we haven't achieved.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, let's look forward to the next game. Thanks for that, and good luck Friday.
Thank you.